Hi, I'm Reverend Dr. Terry Gallagher, and welcome back to Come and See. You know, one of the things I really enjoy about my home is I'm right on the Fox River in downtown Aurora, Illinois. And it's this interesting mix of urban life and nature. There's something about rivers. You know, the Bible is filled with stories of rivers and their sacredness and their life-giving. And it's something that we're not always that respectful of. And so today in Come and See, we want to talk about using the power of rivers, but in cooperation with nature rather than destroying nature. When we take power from water, that's called hydropower. And normally when you think of hydropower, you think of great big dams. And the one great thing about dams is once they're built, they have a zero carbon footprint. Of course, in building them, they put a lot of pollution up in the air. But they totally change the habitat. The greatest dam that they just built in China displaced over 1 million people, as well as destroying the land and destroying what could be farmland. When we think of great big dams, we think about the Hoover Dam, and we think that's a marvel of engineering. But do we have to do it on that big of scale? We have Niagara Falls, in which we didn't change and alter nature that much, but we worked in cooperation with it. But can we do it on a smaller scale? This is really talking about, is big always better? Or are there other ways? There's interesting new technologies coming about of putting turbines in flowing streams. Dams take the energy out of water because of the gravity of the water flowing over the dam, going down. And so that's why they have to build the dams up so high, and so they get massive amounts of water and energy flowing down. But what if we just captured the energy of the water flowing by? And we did it in a way where we didn't alter the stream. We didn't put a dam across the whole stream and channel it into a little one. What if we instead used our brains and our technology, and we put turbines, small turbines, in flowing streams that didn't destroy the wildlife? Kind of like putting turbines in the air, but putting them in the streams, and putting them small and localized. Our current model of generating electricity is based on huge utility companies and huge government projects. And it's these small community projects of turbines, whether they're wind turbines or they're river turbines, that kind of scare the heck out of utility companies, because they recognize that communities can get together and do this on their own. They don't need these mega corporations. And so there's some exciting work being done on designing turbines, small turbines, to put in streams, to harvest electricity that it can be used locally. Now, it's an obvious match for rural communities and communities that live by a mountain stream that you can't get electricity to except by running thousands of miles of electrical wires. But is it also possible to use in local communities? You know, my last part of my industrial career, my office was right on the Detroit River where I had a plant. And I would look at the Detroit River going by and wondering, why is nobody smart enough to harvest the energy of all that flowing water of the Great Lakes without destroying the path of the river? And the thing is, we can do it. We can do amazing things when we put our head to a problem and we break out of the existing paradigms that it's got to be huge and we don't have to care about nature. Instead, use the technology in cooperation with nature. And so putting numbers of small turbines in water flows that don't disturb the wildlife, that allow fish to migrate around past it, that still allow flocks of migrant birds to come and hunt. What could we do if we use our heads and our hearts to bring about a better world? Psalm 46, the river makes glad the city of God. If we work in cooperation with nature, what is possible? I'm struck by the first chapter in the book of Acts. Jesus is ascending into heaven after his resurrection. And all the disciples are gathered around, staring up into heaven, looking after Jesus. And finally, a couple angels come to him and say, "Hey, what are you doing standing here staring up in the sky?" It's time we quit staring up in the sky, hoping somebody else would save creation. It's time we got about the work of using the brains that God has given us to find a way to work our modern society into sustaining creation rather than destroying it. In-stream turbines, in-stream hydro are one of numerous ways of doing it. If we just change how we approach power generation and we work in cooperation with nature. Can we do this? Yeah, we can do this. We can do this. All we're lacking is the political will. So quit looking up in the sky. Let's get to work. See you next time.
And faith is not in knowing, it's a willingness to learn. And faith is found in loving when there's nothing in return. So come and see, around the bend. Look, my friend, and what could be? Come with me, come with me. There's so much more to know, so come and see. There's so much more to know, so come and see.